Good morning, friends. In previous lecture, we discussed about packages and subprogram in the VHDL language. Packages are very important element of the VHDL language. They are present in the library. In library, different types of packages are present to perform different functionality which support the VHDL language. Similar to this, subprograms are very important sequential part of the VHDL language. When we want to repeat portion of the VHDL code or we want to write the piece of code and call it again and again, we can insert that code into the subprogram. Means we can call that subprogram number of times to perform the operation of the hardware circuit. Also, we have seen the types of subprograms are functions and procedures. Also, we learn about syntax, their declaration part and body part, how to write the subprograms and what are the examples of subprogram. Now, today we will learn about the attributes of the VHDL language. These are also known as VHDL attributes. Let's see what is meant by attribute. The attribute is nothing but data which is attached to the VHDL objects which gives the important or additional information about that objects. It is also known as a predefined data about the VHDL objects. These attributes are associated with the signals, types, arrays, which gives additional information about these parameters, and this can be used for modeling of hardware characteristics. Means attributes gives additional information about signals, types and arrays like different VHDL objects, and they are required to model the electronic circuit so that software can correctly extract the RTL from the given code. Let's see what are the classification of attributes. The attributes are of the different types, or they are classified into value kind, function kind, signal kind, type kind and range kind. Let's see one by one. First attribute is known as a value kind of attribute. It is used to return a particular value about an array of a type or block or a type in general. Means value kinds are used to return a value of array or type or return a value from the block statement. Let's see the example. In this example, type bit 8 is declared as an array of 8-bit locations, and every location consists of data of the data type bit. Hence it is declared as type bit 8 is array 0 to 7 of bit. Variable len1 colon integer. Here len1 is a variable which is declared of the type integer. After that begin. Len is one of the variable which is declared in the entity, is assigned bit 8 length. This bit 8 length, bit 8 apostrophe length, this is nothing but the attribute which returns the value of the data types. End of the process. Once the process is completed, we can end the process. Means the value kind attributes return the particular value of that array or type, array of a type or block. Second attribute is of the function kinds. Means it returns the information about types, arrays and different signals. You can consider the event attribute, which is very useful to determine the clock edges. Means whenever the clock edge is determined or identified, whether it may be the rising edge of the clock or falling edge of the clock, at that time it will perform or execute the next sequential statement or next concurrent statement. Means let's consider example of D flip-flop where if clock till event, if clock equal to 1 and clock till event, then Q is assigned D. Means at when the clock reaches to the rising edge of the clock or rising edge of the clock is detected, at that time the output is assigned the input data. If that clock, this is about the rising edge of the clock. Similar way, you can write the code for the falling edge of the clock like this. If clock equal to 0 and clock till event, then Q is assigned D. Means depending on rising edge or falling edge you are going to consider for your program or in your hardware, you can assign the output or change in the output. Here in D flip-flop, output is assigned to the input data at rising or falling edge of the clock. This is about function kind attributes. Next is a signal kind of attribute. It returns the information such as whether signal has been stable for a specified amount of time and when transaction has occurred on a signal and delayed version of the signal can be created. Hence, the signal kind of attributes is useful when the signal is stable before reaching to the clock for a specified amount of time and when transaction is occurred on a signal that delayed version of the signal can be created. Let's see the example. C is assigned a delayed of 5 nanosecond. Means C is assigned A after the 5 nanosecond. Next attribute is type kind. It returns a value of kind type. Let's see the example. Process X, type color is red, blue and green. Means 3 colors are declared of the type color. Subtype of color gun is, means subtype color gun is declared is, it is of the type color. Range red to green. Variable A colon color begin. A is A colon color gun base right. Base right. What is the right color here? Green. Means it will return the information of the color type and base right indicates the right hand side of the color declared in the type list. In this way, type kind returns the value of kind type. And last classification of the attribute is range kind, whether it returns a value kind of range. Here in for loop we are going to declare the range of identifier. For I in ARR in range loop, we are going to perform some actions whenever the identifier it is in the range and end of the loop. Here number of times that loops needs to be executed, it is determined by number of bits in the input argument ARR. Means the input bits of the ARR detects how many times that loop is going to be executed. Hence, this range type attributes returns a value of kind of range. Hence, these attributes are very useful for extracting the hardware information or modeling the hardware circuits by using the VHDL language. This is all about attributes. Thank you.